Now then lads, and welcome back. Today I thought it would be fun to have a look at the 5 weapons that were available in the recent April Fool's update. Well, the ranged weapons at least. I don't think there's much to say on the Coghead Club, except, it makes you run faster, but yeah, most melee weapons do that. Anyway, instead we will be looking at the 2 new weapons that were added in the reward pass, and the 3 old weapons that got reissued. So, without wasting any time, let's just get straight into this. The first of the new weapons we will have a look at is the SMLE Mark III-T. This is a Tier 3 sniper rifle that's based off the SMLE 3. Now, I just want to clarify quickly, I do not play sniper often in Enlisted, however, this gun was good. My biggest issue with this is that I seem to burn through ammo really quick with it, but I think that's mainly more down to the fact that I don't do a lot of sniping. With trigger discipline, I'd imagine it's really good. Using the backup sights as well was also pretty good, since you aren't blocked by the scope like other weapons. However, the side scope did feel a bit weird in the sense that the shots wouldn't land where I was aiming sometimes, but that could have just been either me not being used to the scopes in Enlisted or just, user error. I don't know, it just felt a little bit like I'd be aiming at something and I'd need to aim a little bit more to the left to compensate for the scope, But whatever. I would say, it's pretty good. It's overall a pretty good reward. However, is it better than the other Tier 3 snipers in Enlisted for the US, the Enfield 4 Mark 1T or the M1 Garand sniper? And, it's about the same as the other Enfield sniper, and obviously it's not semi-automatic like the Garand. So, I think this gun does fit a niche though. It fits that sort of niche of a more frontline bolt-action sniper thanks to the backup sights being quite clean. So, I would probably recommend this if you want a more aggressive sniper play style. Overall though, good weapon. I actually quite enjoyed it. The next new weapon is the Mondragon 1908 with a 10-round magazine, which is a Tier 3 semi-automatic rifle. Now, I won't lie, this was my favourite gun out of all of the rewards from the event. Mainly because I had no issue with it. It's got a bayonet, it has 10 rounds similar to the G41, and it hits a bit harder than the G41, meaning you can get longer shots with it. It also looks really cool, which, cool factor always plays into old guns, and especially event guns. The only issue that I did find with it is there's just not much to say about it. I mean, it's a fairly standard 10-round semi. It's not as quick of a reload as the SVT-38 or the M1 Garand, but you can outrange them in the ability to kill rather than down your opponent. It's similar to the Gewehr 41, but is slightly better, like I said, with damage. Look, I like this gun, but that's it, really. All I'm saying is, I'd recommend this if you don't currently have a Tier 3 semi that you like a lot, because this one's pretty good. Now, the next 3 weapons are not guns that are new. They were introduced a long time ago, and they were reissued as part of the pass, starting with the Gewehr 1888, which is a Tier 1 bolt-action rifle. Now, this gun confuses me. You see, in the long ago year of 2021, this was one of the first 4 Gold Order Battle Pass weapons, and its main draw at the time was that it did a huge amount of damage, about double what the bolts did back then. And so it was a really good, long-range, non-scoped option. But since then, bolt actions have, been buffed. They do far more damage now and can actually one-shot people far away, which kind of made the gun a bit pointless, I'm afraid. They have tried to buff it by adding more damage to it, and I assume that's kind of why it's here, but at the same time, why is this here? Look, I don't want to chat shit about the Gewehr 1888. I like it. It's a good gun. It's great at getting longer range kills, but it's slow, it doesn't have a bayonet, and it's weird. Like, for a World War I event, why add this and not the Gewehr 98, the standard issue the Germans had? Since that would make more sense, and it would have been cool to have. But yeah, it's just weird. Look, the Gewehr 1888, it's a good gun, it's a solid bolt-action rifle if you want to sit back and sort of pick people off. It's better than the Winchester from last year's April Fool's event, but look, it's not on my first choice for a World War One rewards-based list, I suppose. The next of the reissued guns is a Tier 3 machine gun, the Lewis gun in 303 British as God intended. This gun was in the Italy-Britain even fight event from last year, and it's nice that I now have enough of them to make a full MG squad with. But I'm not a big fan of the Lewis in Enlisted, and I know, it's not good, it's sacrilegious to dislike it, as an Englishman. But here's my reasoning. It's the sights. I find the sights are too restrictive and they block too much of, well, my sights, which is not exactly what I want when I'm trying to use a machine gun. And so I tend to prefer the BAR at this, because whilst it has less ammo than the Lewis, it at least is, I can see what I'm shooting at. It's easy to control and aim with. Now here's the thing, the Lewis isn't bad. If you get a good position, or if you get a good bipod area, you really can wreck the enemy here, just as you could with, say, an MG34. I mean, you especially can if you're fighting the Japanese, since they just do not have many good Tier 3 machine guns, especially with, 47 rounds. So here's the thing, right? The Lewis gun is good, and I'm happy it was a reward, it fits World War One. But I personally don't think I will use it much, I'm afraid. However, if you can get over the sight issue, yeah, totally use this. It's way better than the BAR at actually being a machine gun, because you can do this thing called lay down suppressive fire, which is what a machine gun's meant to do. But yeah, anyway, it's a good gun. I just don't think it's for me, I'm afraid. The last gun that we're going to look at today is another reissue, the classic Gewehr 98 Wartime mod, a Tier 2 bolt-action rifle that's kind of well known for being pretty good. The main benefit of this is that instead of the 5 rounds which you usually get, you get 25 rounds, which is double the amount of rounds you get, typically with any bolt action for the Germans. So if you ever wanted to have a bolt action rifle that you can suppress someone with, by God do I have the weapon for you. It's this, if you couldn't tell. Look, this is good, and everyone has, everyone and their mum has one of these at this point, because it's consistently brought back. It's a popular gun for a reason. So I'd recommend it. It's just overall, it's a good thing. It's a good gun. It's high capacity. It's a bolt. Yeah, there's nothing really to complain about here. I'd recommend it. Overall, then, yeah, that's it. Really good rewards this year for the April Fools. Much better than last year's fiasco. It was nice you could actually get at least one of them without having to pay. And there was only really one dud in the rewards as well, and it wasn't even really a dud. It's just a bit of a strange inclusion. Anyway, if you've got any weapons you would like to see me have a look at, do let me know in the comments. But other than that, I will see you all later, and goodbye.